see. There we go. We're recording. Okay. So, and if you have any questions as we're going, just jump in and shout it out, or any thoughts or comments or whatever it is, or chat, whichever. I'll keep an eye on that as well. Let me pull that up so it's on the side. Okay. All right. So tonight I was going to talk about, I thought it'd be fun if we kind of talked about finding your niche or your thing. And like Lorraine said, is that kind of like branding? And I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, it kind of is. So, anyway, because this is something I was talking with Cherie the other day, and she said this has kind of been a problem for a lot of people, is they're feeling like they have to do the business the same way that their upline does, or they have to do it the same way that somebody else who's really successful does it. And we don't, right? We're all independent, and we all do our businesses our own way. And it's so important to make sure that you, first of all, find your own way to do it, and then be confident that and know that you can do that and be completely successful, and that you need to do it your own way to be successful. So anyway, so I was hoping we could kind of have a little bit of open discussion about this, and can help you guys maybe figure out what you feel like your niche would be. But part of that, when finding out what your niche is, because for a few years, like I felt like I was kind of floundering through and not really knowing what my thing was. And even now, I still feel like it changes a little bit. But basically what it comes down to is, and Cherie has said this before, but making your mess your message. And I mean, I know that's kind of a common phrase. It's not just her who says that, but I like it because it's all about taking the hard things that have happened to you in your life and how you've learned and grown from those things, and how they've become part of your niche and your message and your why and your branding. So, for example, and I'm going to give an example of one of the leaders on our team, and I know that she wouldn't mind me sharing this with you because she's very open about it. But so Michelle Iverson is one of our leaders on our team, and her husband has struggled with some addictions, and it was really, really hard for them and their marriage and for him. And they used the oils he used the oils to help overcome those addictions, and she used the oils to help heal her broken heart and to help her kids get through the emotional trauma of it all. And they've taken that mess, and it has totally become their message. And they now have like a Facebook page called the Brighter Light Project. He's done like kind of some lectures on CD that have helped a lot of people and overcoming similar addictions. Anyway, so they've really become like spokespersons, if you will, for this, and it has become their thing. And she did an addiction recovery class for one of our Facebook classes, I think a year or so ago, 2 years ago, maybe now. But anyway, so I love it because she's so open about it. And I know that she's helped heal a lot of people. Her and her husband have helped them get on their path to healing because of the mess that they had to go through themselves. But they took it and made it into like this amazing thing. So anyway, so that's one way to go. And the other way is to just go with something, like if that's too hard for you, or you haven't had anything horribly bad happen that you have been able to turn into a good thing or whatever, is to just take something that you absolutely love and something that you're passionate about. Whether it's something that is your mission in life, or something that you just simply find joy in doing. So, like for instance, I mean, Lorraine, I would say Lorraine's mission in life is definitely has to do with kids with special needs, right? Like, can we say that? Is that fair to say? Yeah. And so she could take that to become part of her niche or part of her branding, and make that part of her business, and make what her use that to make her doTERRA business unique to her. So anyway, so those are just a few thoughts on that. And for me, like one of the things I absolutely love, like I just love making takes. Like I love that, not necessarily making takes, but like DIYs. It's kind of one of my things that I just love. And that's something that I teach on a lot and have presented at a lot. But that's kind of one of my things. And that's simply just because I love it. I think it's so fun. It makes me feel really resourceful and self-sufficient, and I love that. So that's one of my things that I think is kind of my thing. And my other thing has been helping people with like anxiety, because that's something that I've struggled with a lot throughout my life. And so I have a lot of people who've come to me because of that, because they know of my experience. And then that's kind of become my thing just by accident, if you will, through experience. But anyway, so, but what are your thoughts on this? Like, what do you think, what do you think some of your niche topics or whatever could be? Or do you have questions about how to make that part of your business and how to make that shine? Like it can be, like for instance, Michelle and Tyler, they've gone and taken their Brighter Light project and have made it a Facebook page that really has nothing to do with oils. It just is with addiction recovery, but then they incorporate oils into that healing process and through the mentoring process when they're helping people. So that's one way that they've used that to make it part of their business. But there's so many different ways to go about it, and there's not one right way. There's lots of right ways to do it. And with this, I think it's really important to think outside the box, get really creative with how you can incorporate whatever it is that you want to is to part of your doTERRA business. So what do you think? Thoughts? Ideas? What do you think your thing is, or what would you like your thing to be? Type in the chat if you can, Kaylee. Oh, what if you haven't found your niche yet? Well, that happens. And so that can be, it doesn't, not like you have to have your one thing, right? Like I said, mine is still, I still feel like I toggle back and forth between these few things that I like to really incorporate into my classes. And really our thing has become Facebook classes, right? That's really what Breathe the Gift has become, has been all these Facebook classes.
Well, if it wasn't for Kaylee, I would have never, ever even thought to try them. And the reason I tried was I had migraines so bad. They would last literally for weeks at a time. And I was on so many medications from the Kaylee. Yeah, she wouldn't leave me alone.
That's good. She's a good follow-upper.
Yeah, she was. I was literally on so many medications that the medications were making me sick, and they weren't doing what the neurologist said they were going to do. And I was basically at the end of my rope, and I reached out to Kaylee and I said, okay, what have you got? I can't take it anymore, because I was on the tail end of a 3-week headache. This is literally getting up in the morning and it's a dull throb, and then it escalates throughout the day to the point where by the time it's time to go to bed, you can't sleep because your head hurts so bad. And
pain is exhausting.
Yeah. And I was not getting any sleep. I couldn't focus. I could hardly function at work. She gave me, I want to say it was 3 things. She gave me some frankincense. She gave me deep blue oil and deep blue rub. And the change was, I got some relief right away, but the more I used it, the more relief I got.
Nice.
And I think for a lot of people, that's one of the things that I hit on too. there's all this hype about oil. And so a lot of people think that I'm just going to use it the once and boom, I'm done. And that's not how it
And
works.
it'll be magical.
Right. But I'm not sure how to turn that into my niche, especially with, you have to kind of be careful what you say to people until you're comfortable with them also, as far as like, oh, this stops my headache. Well, you really don't want to say that entirely, because what if it's the same thing that works for you doesn't work for them?
Oh, well, that's okay. Right? You can say that it worked for you.
Right. I'm just afraid of saying, oh, this is what worked for me, and you try it and it should work for you, and then it doesn't, and then they kind of lose that spark, they lose that interest. So I'm not quite sure if that's my niche or how to turn that into my niche.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing there though is we kind of went over this. Oh my gosh, we had this a few weeks ago. We did a sampling flow chart. But if somebody doesn't have a great experience, like with an oil, just let them know. Be like, you know what? That's okay. Like, thank you for being patient with this process, and let's let you try something else. Because the beautiful thing about oils are there's so many different options to try, right? And so then
Right.
you can go on and let them know, hey, would you be willing to try this one instead? And and just let them know. Be like, you know what, everybody, it works different for everybody, right? And that's fair to say.
Right.
But yeah, so don't be afraid to, I guess, offer a different option if that one didn't work for them, right?
Okay.
Because that is hard, and it's hard to pick the right one, and maybe let them know right up front, hey, this is the one that worked for my headache. Give it a try, but if it doesn't work for you, please know that there are 5 other oils that we can try.
Right.
And one of those will help you with your headaches. We just have to find the one for you.
Okay.
Right? Because if Past Tense doesn't do it, Deep Blue might do it, or frankincense might do it, or Cobaiba might do it. Like, who knows?
Right.
So, and it's the same as like medications, right? You don't go to the doctor and always think that like for instance, antidepressants, you can't take the first one and think it's going to work for you, because chances are it's probably not. And you can compare it to medication for that reason, to kind of explain to them, hey, it doesn't work. Like, just like when you go to the doctor, and try something, It doesn't always work the first try. But anyway, so that's one thing. But anyway, so the second thing, so it could be like, so that could be your first oil experience. You can totally go off of that to be your niche until you either find something else that you want to settle into more, or whatever. Because what is your thing for your back to basics? Is there any theme or anything behind of that, or like a little motto, or your business plan or anything?
I can't remember what I put on my Facebook business page because I set it up so long ago, but I think I just put on there, back to essentials, taking your health back to the beginning stages and redefining.
Which is kind of what you did with your headaches, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's it. I think that's it. So that could become that's your branding, and that can become your thing, your niche, getting back to the basics. And you can be all about the simplifying and getting it back to the way that it should be. I think that's good. Okay, Lorraine says, do you consider your niche the make and takes? And how do I self myself with that? And what does it look like? So, yeah, so it's so funny. So I kind of have gone through, I think, and this is the thing, this is kind of what I wanted to kind of tell you guys, is that it doesn't have to look like exactly like one way, and it can kind of morph itself and to go into different directions. So a year ago, I would have said my niche was the make and takes. And I had even created like a Facebook business page with the make and takes, and was looking into doing like virtual make and takes and like little videos and stuff. And then I totally didn't. And I just didn't feel good about it. And I just decided to put my energy into other things and left it. But I still love to do it. Like, that's definitely like the fun part about the business for me, for sure. in the classes. So that's how I was going to sell myself with it, but I didn't. But that's probably what I would have done, right? I think if you're going to sell yourself with a make and takes, I think it'd be really fun to do a business class and do like virtual make and takes on your business page and doing little live videos and showing how easy it is to make things and posting recipes, showing like before and after photos of using certain products or products you were able to replace, maybe showing price differences, and how the DIY ones were cheaper than the store-bought one, safer, ingredients that you can pronounce, ingredients you can buy at the grocery store. So that's how I would have do that. Okay, so why is that? Why did I drop it and go the other way? Okay, so because I felt like it was too much me and not enough of like Brandon and I doing the business together. And it was too much time and energy. And so we've really dumped so much time and energy into our Facebook classes, which honestly now that has become our thing, right? We rock the Facebook class thing. So we have continuing education down, and we just like that's kind of our thing now is the Facebook classes and continuing education. It is our new niche. So yeah, and like we and now it has actually become like this little secondary form of income, and then we sell them. We sell our Facebook classes and teach other doTERRA wellness advocates kind of how to do Facebook classes. So that's been kind of fun. But anyway, so that's kind of become our thing, and I love it. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with our Facebook classes, but they are fun. They're very rewarding. So is there a danger to specializing? So the only danger to specializing would be, I think, if you get too specific and make your niche so narrow that you're limiting your market too much, if that makes sense. So, but Lorraine, like I totally think like you could do something with kids with special needs, and that's not too narrow. I think that is a large market, and it is scary, but you could help so many people. And so think about that. If you did a Facebook page and did an Instagram or a Twitter or whatever you wanted to do, just focusing on using your oils to help your kids with special needs. And you could do, I don't know what you can do. Can you do videos or anything like that with your kids online? Do you have any in foster care, or are they all adopted now? They're all adopted? Oh, okay, except the babies. Okay. So you're allowed to show pictures of them on Facebook then, right? You're just not the babies?
I do, because they're my grandkids.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you can. Okay. All right. So you could do videos or pictures of you using the oils on your kids and telling them what you used and how you used it. And
what scares me is it's such a desperate big deal. And I would hate to not give them false hope, but I mean, I feel like I really need to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're never going to be an expert at it, right? Like none of us are ever going to be an expert at anything, right? And the biggest way to become an expert at something is to start teaching it. And I think of it this way, even if you had a tiny bit of information that could help 5 kids or 5 moms whose kids feel better, whatever. I mean, wouldn't you want to do it? Absolutely you would.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
It is. It's huge. And this isn't anything that you're going to like endanger anybody's health with or anything, right? So it's something that's very safe, and it gives them an option of something to try. Because most of these people, they don't have any options, right? You know that. They're
right.
feeling stuck. and there's nothing else to try.
And the medicines are hardcore medicines.
Right. So you're offering an option of something else that they can try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But what if it does?
Yeah.
Right? What if it does work? Then it's life-changing for them. So I think it would be awesome. I mean, I would love to see it because it's clearly, like I said, it's clearly something that you're passionate about and you do know a lot about. You know more about it than I do. And there's not a lot of information out there on essential oils in kids with special needs. As you know, I've tried looking, and there's not much out there. It's very, very limited. So the only information that's going to become available is going to be through experience, and you have that experience.
And do you think people got in trouble for it, or do you think, because it's not like the need's not there? Is it because it's children and it's delicate, or because I can't imagine why you can't find anything out there?
Well, and some of it could be, I don't know what it is. So the only things that you would have to be like careful of, obviously, because if you're going to be on social media, is some of the compliance. So you can't say like, oh, I use this on my baby with,
a specific
alcohol
ailment.
or whatever. What is the alcohol syndrome? Oh my gosh. What's it called?
Fetal alcohol.
Fetal alcohol. Okay. And it cured their, you couldn't say that, but you could say, hey, this is what my kids struggle with is, they've been diagnosed with this, this, and this, and I've been using lavender and I've noticed they've been able to sleep better at night. Or I've been using Intune and I've noticed that they've been able to focus more and do more on their homework, or been able to focus on this. So you're just stating your personal experiences of what you've been using and what improvements that you've noticed through that. And you can always email doTERRA Compliance and ask them, can I say this? They're going to be much more conservative. But, Shelly says she has a compliant class for special needs. The info's out there, but you have to know where to look and purchase it. I think this area definitely needs more info. I do too. I think that you could I think there needs to be so much more information out on this because there needs to be more of it. Okay, so let's see. So Kaylee says, and be open and honest about the real life side of it too. Absolutely. Because you could, even through this, Lorraine, your life is it's crazy. People would love to see your life. I can see people watching and following you on social media because your real life is mind-blowing to people. They can't imagine having that many kids and then with special needs and then how to take care of them.
Meltdowns and
they just can't imagine. So Instagram. So Kaylee says Instagram is a beautiful thing. People want real life. This is what we use for this, but some days my house is crazy bad. She's crazy and this is us. I think people just want to watch the journeys like this. I completely agree. So Shelly said she did a Facebook class with it, but you did it in a closed group. Okay. Oh yeah. So why'd you do a closed group, Shelly? Just so you didn't have to worry about compliance?
I did it in a closed group because this is part of what we were talking about, Melissa, before everybody else joined in. The classes are copyrighted.
Oh.
So, and this one had just come out. So I did it in a closed group because because it's out on Facebook. I wasn't sure who was going to be signing up and attending. So I wanted them to, first you create the event, then you post the closed group link in the event, and you accept people as they request to join the group. That gives you the option to go look at their profiles to see where they're from, if they're affiliated with doTERRA already, if they're a Young Living person kind of thing. Plus it was new, and to be honest with you, I wanted to get the class out there right away, but I didn't have a lot of time to review the info that was in it. So I wanted it to be closed just in case there was something in there that was a little off center, or people can be very touchy about this area also. So I wanted to make sure that I could control the environment that I was putting the information into. And Lorraine, I'll get you a link to that class. It's a website and a company that I actually create monthly Facebook posting packages for, and the classes are fairly cheap, unless you buy a ton of them like I did.
So Lorraine, did you understand that this is a Facebook class she purchased from somebody, but it went through, like, it's gone through some more stuff like than our classes, like it's gone through compliance and whatnot, but then it's copyrighted. Yep. So she couldn't share it openly. So she had to be a little bit more selective. But plus, that was smart you did that, Shelly, because making it a closed group made it a safe place for people too to share these things. Otherwise, they'd comment and everybody would see it, which might make it a little bit more vulnerable. Okay, so if I work with you, Melissa, to create one, we can do it open, yes. Would we need to get it checked out for sensitivity or something? No. No. We can just do it. But check out Shelly's class. I think that would be good. You can keep it generic, but I think it's fine to put in specific stuff in there. Like, hey, this is fetal alcohol syndrome. There's people who have this. I mean, it's not like you have the only kids who do, right? I mean, there's got to be other people out there. But I think if you keep it overall generic, like if you keep it generic overall, that's probably good. But then talk about specific things in there. But I really do think you could create a following, like on Instagram. Instagram would be a good place to start. There is a need. There's a huge need. Hashtags, Kaylee says. Yeah. Be good. That's so true. You can come up with your own hashtag. That can be your little motto or logo or whatever. So what do you mean? Is that to a specific niche? What do you mean? The hashtag?
Just the special needs angle itself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like that should be your thing. Like, I think it's just.
But does that box you in or keep you from reaching out to everybody else you want to sell oils to?
No, I don't think so, because I mean, people come to me for anxiety, but people come to me for other things too, because they know that I'm a resource, right? So you just
once that's worked for them, then they ask you about more things.
Yeah. Yeah. And they can come to you for other things, and then you can be like, hey, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I know somebody who does. So let's find out. So yeah, I don't think that's, what's that?
Yeah, who's that?
Oh, I don't know. The Facebook group, the Modern Essentials book. There's always somebody that you can ask who's going to know more, right? But no, I don't think that that's too specific at all. Because, oh, there you go. Shelly just sent you the link for that. I don't think it's too specific. Because, like I said, it's not like those are the only people that you're going to attract.
Because it's kids.
Right.
You can know other things.
And then it's moms, because you're a
mom's
mom.
mental health, yeah, for sure.
You know, there's so many different ways you can go on that. And say you start this little Facebook group or whatever it is you want to do, Instagram thing with hashtags, you know, you can go into, like you said, you can go into how to keep mom sane through all of this. Like, you can show your kids throwing a temper tantrum and say, hey, you want to know how I keep safe through this, or keep sane through this? Let's see, Shelly says, make the most of social media with hashtags. Yes.
I just downloaded that this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, and Kaylee said, when people see your passion, whatever the category, they want to be a part of that. It's so true. It doesn't matter what it is. If they love like your personality and the energy that you bring, they're tagging onto that, latching onto that, no matter what it is, because they're buying into you, right? So if you make it funny and light and whatever, because that's you and your personality, And then other people who like that are going to tag on to you, even if they don't have special needs kids, just because they like your personality and they think it's fascinating to watch. But I think the more real life stuff you can do, like Kaylee said, like the Facebook, the videos and I don't know, just the real stuff, and then making it like for Lorraine, I can see you making it funny or anyway, which is good because that's such a serious and heavy topic that it does need to be lightened up, because what else are you going to do but cry, right? We can't be crying on Facebook or any type of social media. We need
Well,
to
I think the fellow mommies can take that sense of humor, because if they don't laugh, they would cry.
Oh yeah, you'd be going crazy.
It's outsiders looking in that get offended by that.
Yeah, no, it's so true. So yeah, and Shelly said, Kaylee's right. My making takes fill up within days of posting the event, and it's usually at least 4 of the same people each time. Kaylee says, Lorraine, if you want to get on Instagram, you can look on mine and see what I've done. Well, there you go. Do you have an Instagram account?
Yeah, but I don't use it much.
Well, that's perfect. There you go. Then you can make it into this.
And would you use your personal name in that, or would you come up with something kitschy to be?
I think it would be fun to do something catchy.
A little more anonymous, you know.
Kaylee says that she has a name separate from her personal. So there you go. Yeah, I would say separate from personal too.
Okay. I was thinking about that.
And Shelly says Instagram's more popular than Facebook. She uses Back to Essentials. I know. And I've got to branch out other than Facebook. I've just been having such a hard time with that because it's so overwhelming. But it's on my to-dos. It's on my to-dos.
Okay. Later, everybody can throw me ideas for names.
Snapchat. I do Snapchat with one person, maybe 2.
I just signed up for that too, but I haven't done that at all.
It's so hard. There's so many things.
They're going, Mom, you have a Snapchat?
Oh, it's so hard. Okay, so Shelly says if you use Postcron, you can send it up to post to Instagram, Twitter, and several other things. Oh, I know. Okay, however, I feel like this is my struggle. Is I feel like you can't have the same post for each different venue of social media because they all kind of have a little bit of a different thing. Do you guys think that or no? Like I feel like Instagram needs to be shorter. Facebook can be a little bit longer. And Instagram, you can't do more than one photo because it doesn't really show, right?
Instagram you can. It's a swipe left or a swipe right.
But you just swipe through it.
Right. Twitter, you only get so many characters, and if you put a link in it, it counts as 24 characters, even if it's shortened. So Twitter's a little harder. So what I do is I go through and I set them all up. Like in Postcon, you highlight like whichever accounts you want at the top, and you make one post, and then it does at the bottom. Once you hit schedule and you set your time and date for it to post, it creates a copy for each. Like let's say I did it to my Facebook business page, Twitter, and Instagram. Down below, it will create individual posts, one for each account. Then when I'm all done, I go back through and I edit them. And it actually doesn't take very long because you create one post, it auto creates for all 3, and then you can go back and individually edit each one based on like Twitter. You can only have so many characters, blah, blah, blah. But I also like to I don't always post the same things to the same account. Like I try to mix it up a little bit. Like this month I have 30 days of thankfulness with doTERRA. It's the Facebook post package that I created for that other company. And so I did them in different orders on each social media account so that they're not the same thing.
So it's the same information, but in a different order?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I know I need to get out. So Kaylee says, where did we talk about this? Tasha Maybe, let's see, too many social media accounts, pick your one or two and own it. It's so true. Maybe that's where I heard it and why I've just stuck with Facebook, because I'm like, okay, I do Facebook, good. That's where I am. But I've lately been feeling like I need to branch out and do something else besides just Facebook, but maybe not. I don't know. I've got to figure it all out. It's hard because you can spend your entire day on social media. It's so hard. But anyway, it's so true. It is comfy now and it is routine. So I am feeling better in it. Yeah, which one do you guys think is more popular right now? Is Instagram becoming more popular?
I think Instagram for sure is one of the most popular. I think Twitter kind of has faded out. I don't really use Twitter a whole lot. In fact, I just started doing it because I figured out I could post to it automatically.
Okay.
But I don't really have a lot of followers on Twitter. I have more followers on Instagram. And I think I only have like 201 people that have liked my business page on Facebook. So.
Okay, so, ooh, nice. So Kaylee said, yeah, she had 8 follows after her lactose-free hashtag and 15 when Green Air shared her original post. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and Instagram's easier to do with Facebook because typically you can post it and then share it right. If you post it to Instagram and share it right to Facebook. So
Yeah,
I could do the same thing, right? From Instagram to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions about the niche stuff and how to incorporate that into your business and how to make that work? Ideas of thinking outside the box? I think we went over some really good ideas. Kaylee, do you have any questions? You've been very helpful with Lorraine, though, and me. I wish I could see if somebody was typing.
If you're not going in a specific niche like that, what direction would you go?
Sorry, if you're not going in a specific niche direction.
You know, like if I weren't going to do the special needs thing right now, what else could I do that would be, I don't know, maybe a little more generic? Or is the whole point to focus more specific like that?
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that specific. It can be something more generic. So it can be whatever. You could have it being a mom to twins. You could have it being a mom. You can have it being trying to organize a household for 12 people, or how many, because I can't remember how many kids you have at home now. Do you have 10?
Yeah, only 10.
Okay, so yeah, so 12 people only, right?
I don't know. I got a bunch
But
more
see,
around.
that is like fascinating. See, my first mind is like, how do you shop for that many people? How much, buying your groceries and how many, you know what I mean? So it can be whatever. So, yeah, it can be totally more generic.
You gotta focus. The point is to focus on something.
I think it is. It helps you find direction. Okay, so let's see. So Kaylee says she's been talking to Melissa Palmer. I love the diffuser side of the business lately, and convention totally changed my outlook. So, and then she said being a mom, she said that for you, helping your kids naturally, even if you set aside all the special needs you use for your daily life with kids in life, can have a follow and then incorporate how doTERRA fits into that daily life. Absolutely. So you could just focus on the mom aspect. Never mind that your kids have special needs. So, yeah. So that's good, Kaylee. So you've been focused. The the diffuser side of the business is a great little thing to plug into your business, because diffusers use oils, and diffusers are so easy to use, and they make using the oils incredibly easy to use. That's one thing I love about diffusers, because a lot of people don't know how to use their oils, but they know they can put them in they're afraid, or they don't know how to use them. But yeah, but they can totally put drops of oil in a diffuser and use them. They are attractive to people for sure. They've got some really pretty ones. I can't believe those willows are on sale this month. Those ones are really pretty. But anyway, yeah, that's a great way to go. See, that could be a niche too, diffusers. And you can just be posting diffuser blends. That can be your thing. So anyway, it's good. So many different directions to go. But it is fun to kind of have, I think it's good just to have a little theme, niche, whatever that you're posting about or whatever, just because that makes it you, right? And that makes it a little unique, and people kind of know what to expect from you, or what type of resource you are, and what information they can expect from you. I don't know, I think it's good. I think it's good. So, too many directions. Sounds good to focus on something. Absolutely. And it keeps it simpler for you, right? So that you know what direction to go in, and you know what to do. So yeah, I would definitely suggest to find something that you can kind of theme things around, and go for it. So yeah, that's my goal for the week. I'm going to look for something else. I'm going to try to see how I can incorporate Instagram. I've tried this before. I will try again. But yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Doesn't have to be related to and sharing in random places. Yes, like the bathroom and the porta potty. Absolutely. So yeah, another class. Okay, wait, what did that go to, Lorraine? Another class. Oh, yes, Instagram. Yes. Do a class on Instagram. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Kaylee should teach us that one. Okay. All right. Well, if you guys have any other, oh, Kaylee says yes, she's all over that. Sounds good. If you have any other questions, unrelated, related, and then I'm going to end the recording, and I will share some inside scoop info.